Hello, my fabulous English 111 students. Shaw Online, summer 2017. We are in week 3 now. Woohoo! Zipping right along. Week 3. Yes. So what are we doing this week? Well, you're watching this video. Congratulations. You're already doing the first step. There's 3 videos you're going to watch to help you with kind of what's going on in the next part of this class, and I'll show you those in just a second. The big thing that's going on this week is you're going to submit the final draft of paper 1. That is due by June 5th. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. And then we have some more videos to watch, compare contrast video lecture, and the importance of Mla formatting video, and paragraph structures. None of these are super long. None of these are super long either. They're all designed to help you with your next project. And because what's going to happen is we're finishing paper 1 this week, which is going to be submitted, and we're starting on paper 2. Paper 2 is a compare contrast paper. What is that? Well, guess what? That's what you get to learn this week. Yay! Also, there will be a quiz, okay? And the quiz is on point of view, and you're like, oh, goodness, what's point of view? Well, guess what? Point of view is from that video right there. So first, second, and third person deals with point of view, and the quiz is based on that. All right, so let's get through this. So, okay, so speak video. This is just a tool you can use that will help you improve your writing. There is nothing wrong with using spell check. There's nothing wrong with using things like Grammarly or other tools to help you with your writing. That's fine. Speak is just one of those tools. The video kind of is self-explanatory. So watch that video, and it will show you how it can help you with your writing. Next is a short little video on the difference between first, second, and third person. Again, when you watch this video, it'll kind of explain it. That deals with point of view. The big problem that we have with students who are learning how to write for college is using second person, which is not good. You're like, oh, what's second person? Again, watch this video and it will show you. Okay? And so when it comes to writing your papers, from here on out, you're going to make sure that you don't use second person when you're writing. And I've even got a video that shows you how to find and fix second person in your paper. So if you've written a paper and you want to make sure that you don't have second person anywhere in it, then this video shows you how to do it, and it's pretty easy once you've learned how to do it. So watch those 3 videos, and then you take the quiz on point of view. Again, you can take that up to twice. Highest score counts, because again, the goal isn't just to see if you can regurgitate information. I want you to take it twice to make sure you understand the concepts. So there's that. Okay, now, the previous weeks we were working on paper 1, which is the narration paper. You should have had a chance. You did have a chance to submit a rough draft that I gave you feedback on. You had you uploaded it to the this what do you call it, a forum? Yeah, that's what it's called, where your peers, at least 3 of your peers, gave you feedback, and you should have contacted the Writing Center, and their information right up here is at the top of the page to get feedback. So you got feedback from all sorts of different sources on what you could have done to make your paper even better. Now it is time to submit it. Now this is a little different. This is using something called Turnitin. Turnitin. This is a program, and it does a couple of different things. Okay. Now, please notice, upload the final draft of your paper. Okay. Note again, like everything, and if you go back to week 2, it explains this more in detail. Make sure you submit it as a doc or a docx file only. Okay. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back and watch week 2 because it explains it in more detail. Now, please note, be very careful to upload the correct file. When you are saving files, I would strongly recommend that you save them as narration paper rough draft or narration paper final draft. Don't just put paper 1 or don't just put your name, because then when you go to try to find the file, you're like, which one was it? Okay, just name it something that you know what it is. One thing that students do, okay, is that, oops, I forgot to finish the final draft. Oops, I know what I'll do. I'll submit the rough draft instead and tell the professor I made a mistake. Okay, well that is boo. Shame on you for doing that, okay? So basically what happens if you upload the incorrect file, you will earn a 0 on this assignment if you do one of the following. If you upload the wrong file, that including your rough draft, okay, you need to submit the correct file. Triple check to make sure you are sending me the correct one. Don't send me a biology paper. Don't send me a math paper, okay? Don't send me the rough draft. Send me the final draft, okay? Now, if there are not significant changes between the file and the rough draft, it's very simple. I take your rough draft and I take your final draft, 2 different documents. I run it through something called compare, and it shows me exactly what you've changed from one draft to another. Okay, and from there I can look and see what kind of revisions you've done and how many you've done. Okay, so basically, if you've just sent me the same paper, you will get a 0. You don't get double points for doing the same thing. And also, you'll get a 0 if you have plagiarized. Again, this paper is your own words. You shouldn't copy and paste anything from the internet. That's narration paper 1. Now, to submit this paper, you click on this, boop, and it brings up this. Okay, now this is going to show everyone's students. So we'll just look at here at Zane. Okay, and it's going to be a little weird because I'm not in the student view. So let me go back and change that back to student view because it's going to be a little different for you guys. So let me switch over to student view. Let's see if it'll let me actually do this. Go back to week 3. Okay, so you're going to click on narration paper. Okay, so yeah, this is what you're going to see. And then you'll see down here, so again, this just kind of explains what you're supposed to do. And you see down here it says submit paper. Okay, submit paper. So you click on this, and it gives you a chance to upload a file. And just like we've done for other things, you can either pick the file and try to find it somewhere on your computer, okay, or you can just drag and drop it. And just drag and drop it in there, okay, but that's how you submit the paper, okay? And you give it a title. You'd call this Morgan Writing Project 1 Final. Okay, and then you would send the file, and then you'd hit Add Submission. Now, once you've done that, it sends it to me, and it does a couple of things. Number one, I will actually grade it in here. Okay, I will grade it in here, and then when I'm done, you will see your grade. Okay, and it'll be out of 100, and next to it will be a little pencil. And the pencil, when you click on the pencil, it'll show you the comments that I made on the paper, and it'll show you why you earned what you did. If you see that you got a 0, that doesn't mean I didn't grade it. It means you got a 0. Okay, if you have to click on the pencil to find out why. Often people get 0s because as they submit the paper through this program checks for plagiarism. It looks to see if you've copied stuff from the internet. Seriously, yeah, and it shows me exactly what you copied and where you copied it from. So please, oh please, do not try to get away with it because you're going to get caught and you're going to get a 0, and nobody wants that. I don't want that. Now, another thing I'm going to do to help you is the rubric. The rubric for this, or basically how I'm going to grade it, is found right here. Okay, so if you look at this little box up here, you see this little thing right here. You click on this. Boom. When you click on this, it'll bring up, I'm going to switch over to another screen here. Boop. It'll bring up this. This is the rubric for the, actually that's the compare and contrast paper. We don't want that one. We want the narration paper. Okay, sorry, this is the one you'll see. You'll see it'll just pop up automatically for you. So basically, this is what you're going to see. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, and this is how you're going to get graded. So, is the paper in perfect Mla formatting? Okay, so you get full points. If not, then you'll get marked down some points if there's minor issues and so forth. Okay, again, you'll be graded on page length. Okay, is at least 2 full pages. So that's how you get the full points. Okay, thesis. Basically, is the purpose of the paper clear? Again, that goes back to, am I clear? Why did you submit this paper? Why did you pick this story? Of all the things you could have picked, why this one? What makes this one stand out? Why is it important to you? That's really the thesis of a narrative story. Grammar, okay? Basically, this is when I go through a grammar checker. I go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and I look for all your grammar issues. This is where, again, this is where a lot of people lose points, okay? And if you're not very good at grammar, that's okay. That's when you get help from the Writing Center and get help from other sources to help you fix your grammar issues, okay? And then it should be first person past tense. Now, we haven't really talked about that too much. So first person past tense, that deals with, it's written like, I did this, I did that, I went to the beach, I saw the seagulls, it was wonderful to me. Okay, first person. Past tense is as you're telling it as if it happened in the past, because again, you're writing about something that happened in the past. You wouldn't say, I smelled the beach, I smelled the salt in the air. No, I smelled, because it happened in the past. Yeah. So I will check to make sure that you've done that. And then the subject, again, you have to make sure that you have just basically, did you address one of the prompts? Okay, again, if you're writing this whole big paper about the injustices of the trade market in Taiwan, that is not the subject for this paper. This paper is basically about a memory that you had, and you're describing why it was important to you. Okay, so that is how that is graded. So there's no surprises there. Okay, so let's go back to week 3. So that paper is due, again, by June 5th by 11:55 p.m. And then I will grade it, and you'll see it pop up into your grade book. Okay, once you've done that, okay, then we jump into the very next paper again. Summer class, so it goes by very quickly. Then you get to watch the next lecture, which is going to be focusing on compare contrast. Compare contrast describes what the whole concept is and basically how you're going to be able to write your paper, your next paper, which is paper 2. A lot of students really struggle with MLA formatting, and even though we taught it and we did a quiz on it, you'll be marked down because most students, probably, about 80% of you will not do MLA correctly, even though I've shown you exactly how to do it. So watch this video to understand why I'm being such a stickler on it. And then this video here, I did not create this video, so you get a little bit of a change of pace. This video here kind of explains some great ways as far as the basic elements of putting paragraphs together for your next paper, which is this compare contrast paper. Okay, and so let's look at what the next paper is going to be. So this compare contrast paper. Compare contrast paper, if you, well, let's go back so you can see this. If you click on this right here, compare contrast assignment, it pulls up this. Okay, so this is what you're going to do for the compare contrast paper. You will select 2 subjects, and then you will choose at least 3 ways which these subjects can be compared or contrasted. Again, this is explained better in the compare contrast video. Okay, the concept, and again, if you want to watch the compare contrast video, this one will make more sense. But the goal here is that you're going to basically, an example would be if you're trying to pick between an iPhone or a Galaxy phone. Okay, and you're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to say an iPhone is better because the iPhone has, this thing's better about it, this other thing's better about it, and this third thing's better about it. That's kind of what a compare contrast paper is about. Okay, and these are the kind of things that we're going to be looking for. And again, once you watch the compare contrast video, it will make sense. This will make a lot more sense. Okay, so you're going to start working on the rough draft. This is basically a 5-paragraph essay. This is not, so it's not really, we'll go into that more next week as far as the specifics on the lengths. So focus more just on the subject and the elements you're going to need. Again, once you watch the video, you'll be in much better shape as far as trying to understand how to do that. So you can start working on that. And to help you to make it even better, I did post an example of a good compare-contrast paper. Okay, so you can kind of see how a good one should look like. Okay, now, warning, this is a paper that is in the system. So if you basically just use this same paper and just change a few words, you will get a 0 because that's plagiarism. Okay, don't use this paper as your paper. You did not write this paper, but you can look at this paper and it gives you an example of what a good example of what a good compare contrast paper is. So you're going to start working on that because your rough draft is then going to be due on Monday the 12th of next week, so June of week 4. So again, to review for week 3, you got a bunch of videos to watch, but none of them are very long. All of these will help you write your next paper and help you fix point of view as far as your first paper. There's a little quiz, okay, that's again not very hard. Your narration paper, that's the big thing that's due this week, as we just beat that to death. I showed you the rubric and how to submit that. And then you watch the video of how to get into the next paper and start working on your next paper. Now, there is a reading also. If you look at this, the MindTap readings for week 3. So if we look at MindTap, the reading is, oh, look at that, compare contrast. So the reading in the book directly correlates with what we're doing in this week. So that'll even give you more insight. So between the lecture and the chapter, you should be in really good shape as far as understanding compare contrast and being able to apply it to write a paper. So with all that being said, all right, get to work. And I know you can do it.